Chapter 64. You're not sheep, after all, Tisha said to the humanoid pig. The first time we encountered the sheep, it caused us endless hardship. You thought that adding a lying mechanism to your game would increase your chances of winning, but you didn't expect that this decision would ultimately lead to your downfall. The humanoid pig was silent for a while after hearing this, then reached up and removed the mask from his face. Beneath the dirty, stinking mask was a man with well-defined features, looking to be around 40 years old, his eyes filled with wisdom. It's just a pity I was so close, the humanoid pig said. I was so close to walking out of here with my head held high. Xia's eyes flickered as he asked, humanoid pig, what exactly does it mean to walk out with your head held high? The humanoid pig froze for a moment, then looked at the young man before him, realizing that Kishore assembled his younger self. Kishore, have you ever made a mistake? A mistake? Kishore pondered for a moment. The words making a mistake were hard to understand. In some ways, his entire profession was a mistake. But on the other hand, he had no choice but to follow this path. Not a mistake concerning the law. The humanoid pig added. I'm talking about a mistake that could change the entire trajectory of your life. The kind of mistake that leaves you regretful, remorseful. The kind of mistake that makes you spend the rest of your life paying for it. After hearing this, Xia's brow furrowed tightly. Something deep within his mind stirred, pulsing wildly. What do you mean? Tizhou asked coldly. We're all sinners. The humanoid pig said with a bitter smile. As it turns out, sinners cannot attain the Tao. I will die here. Sinners cannot attain the Tao? Kaisha felt he had heard this phrase before. Kaisha, you know, the marketplace is like a casino. The humanoid pig continued slowly, walking over to a drawer and rummaging through it. I once gambled all the company's liquid assets on a hope. Looking back, it was no different from a life bet. After searching for a while, the humanoid pig pulled out an old revolver from the drawer. He blew the dust off the gun, then opened the chamber and checked the lone bullet remaining. He continued speaking. At that time, my chances of success were less than 50%. The other shareholders in the board opposed me, but I knew I was only gambling with the liquid assets. It wouldn't bankrupt the company. In fact, it gave a glimmer of hope for future development. But no one expected a global infectious disease suddenly broke out. The company's earnings took a huge hit. Due to insufficient liquidity, it became hard to turn things around, leading to continuous losses. The humanoid pig raised his eyes, filled with despair, and looked at Kisho. I thought I was gambling for a ticket to heaven, but instead, I ended up in hell. With that, he continued to carefully wipe the gun chamber. Tisha felt that the humanoid pig's words had cleared up some of the doubts in his mind. So, you think this place is hell? Who know? The humanoid pig shook his head. It was my own company that I built from the ground up, but in the end, I was kicked out by the board. As chairman, I lost my authority to pay off my debts. I sold my shares at a low price. My wife, who helped me build the business from nothing, couldn't even afford to pay for medical treatment. My daughter, who studied abroad, ran out of money and had to drop out. Eventually, she became a well-known prostitute in her school. Compared to reality, this place is my heaven. I don't have to worry about anything. All I need to think about is how to make you all die. The humanoid pig's tone grew more unstable. I often wonder what would have happened if I hadn't gambled on that 50% chance. He remained silent for a long time before finally speaking the four words, willing to lose, accept defeat. Huh. The humanoid pig suddenly seemed to lose his mind, letting out a bitter laugh. Yes, willing to lose, accept defeat. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Tija spoke up again. The humanoid pig raised his deep eyes and looked at Kaisho, and slowly said, I've answered too many of your questions. It wouldn't be fair to the other participants. What? Tijo asked. Confused? Aren't these things supposed to be told to us? The humanoid pig opened the revolver's chamber. spun it quickly, then flicked his wrist and inserted the bullet back into the chamber. He then slowly raised the revolver, placing it against his temple. Let fate decide, the humanoid pig said. Every time you ask me a question, I'll pull the trigger. As long as the gun doesn't fire, I'll answer you. He sighed helplessly after seeing this. He asked, you were once the chairman of a company. Don't you want to leave with some dignity? Admit it. The humanoid pig chuckled helplessly. I've been wearing this stinking, filthy pig mask for so long. What dignity can I still talk about? Since that's the case, Tisha nodded. Then I asked, I'm sorry, but why did you voluntarily become the humanoid pig? Click. Without hesitation, the humanoid pig pulled the trigger, not even blinking. The gun didn't fire. Because I want to atone. The humanoid pig replied. Someone told me that if I wear the mask and send the participants to their deaths through a game, I can atone for my sins one day. What does atonement mean? Click. The gun didn't fire. The humanoid pig sighed. Atonement means being able to change your past, to make up for the mistakes you've made. All the zodiacs are sinners. Heejaw connected the fragmented clues in his mind and felt a sense of disbelief. He organized his thoughts and then asked, so, you had a chance to leave, but you did. Instead, you chose to stay here and atone? Click. The humanoid pig frowned. Heejaw had an extremely strong luck. The gun didn't fire for the third time. I'm not sure if I can leave, but I stayed. The humanoid pig continued. I hope you all haven't made any mistakes, because if you have, you'd end up like me, choosing to stay here voluntarily. After all, staying here still holds a tiny, invisible hope. Heejaw slowly stepped forward and asked very seriously, so, what is the quickest way to leave this place? Click. A humanoid pig closed his eyes, his body trembling. Yet again, the gun didn't fire. I'm not sure, the humanoid pig said. The 600 Dao is obviously the slowest way. Even though I'm wearing this mask, there's still so much I don't know. After all, I'm still human. If you want to uncover the truth of this place, you'll need to find a way to defeat heaven and earth. He paused, then continued, no, don't try to defeat heaven. Just defeating earth will be enough. The heaven, earth, and human zodiac is ranked from top to bottom, with dragon leading. If you want to survive here, first, don't provoke heaven, and second, don't confront dragon. The humanoid pigs for answers indeed helped Heejaw clarify his thought. It seemed that escaping from this place wasn't as difficult as he had imagined. Heejaw no longer had any questions for the humanoid pig, but the man still held the gun, his expression complex. Heejaw knew that the probability of death for the fifth shot was 50%, and for the sixth shot, it was 100. The scene before him felt familiar, as though they were back in the moment of betting his life with a 50% chance. Heejaw stood up and turned toward the exit. Lin Jing and Dou Lu followed slowly, unsure of what to do. Just as they were about to leave, Heejaw turned and asked the fifth question, Uncle, do you regret it? Taizhao didn't wait for the humanoid pig to answer. He turned and left with Lin Jing and Dou Lu. The vast chess hall now felt empty, with only the humanoid pig sitting alone in the center. He thought for a long time, then slowly uttered 3 words. Thank you. A loud gunshot echoed, and the humanoid pig collapsed.